Hi, I'm Marcy Venezia, and I am the owner of GleeWorks Holistic Coaching. And today we're going to talk about 5 unstoppable steps to success. So those are, I'm going to spill the beans right now. Listen to your calling, relax and trust, imagine and intend, create and iterate, and seek joy. Let me tell you a story. St. Peter is admitting a new entrant to heaven, and this guy comes in and he says, there's just one thing that's bugging me, St. Peter. I'm wondering, who was the goat? And St. Peter says, well, God, of course. I mean, he was the greatest of all time. And the man says, no, 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 no. The greatest of all time in baseball. And St. Peter points down to a janitor down in the school, and he says, he is the goat. And the man says, but he's just a janitor. And St. Peter says, exactly. If he had tried, if he had taken the risk and developed his skill, he would have been the greatest of all time. And I tell that story because you are the goat for something. You have been born with a gift. You are a masterpiece. And it's this gift that will give your life purpose. It will use your gifts. It'll be your calling, and it will give you that kind of sense of joy that so many of us are seeking. So, when I was 13, I got my calling. So I guess the first thing is, when do you get your calling? So I was 13. I had just experienced a lot of fighting in my family, and I'd gone out in the middle, late at night, and walked down to a local cemetery. And there I allowed the anger and the frustration and all those things to just pour out of me. And after a while, there was this sense of peace. And then I heard, you'll help many people. And that was it. But it felt really good. And so I just let that go, and I walked back, went back to my normal time, my normal, lifestyles. So I walked back from my time in the cemetery at night. I know, very strange. And I had listened to my calling. So that's the first thing. If you have listened to your calling, or you know what it is, listen. So the next step is to relax and trust. So one of the things that we don't want to do is say, okay, here's what I need to do next. How are we going to do this? All this sort of stuff. No, just relax and trust and allow opportunities to come to you. So the other thing is that most people resist their calling. You may have had it many years ago, just like I did, but you resist it. And that's very, very common. So this relaxation and trust is a way of not resisting it. I did things like when I was in high school, I was really fascinated by this guy that was talking about the mind-body experience, and I learned a lot from him. I then went to college, and I met a guy who could see energy patterns, and I was like, oh, that's so exciting. I want to be able to do that too. And I had a number of experiences that were just life-changing for me. And so I learned that. In college, I coined the name sociosomatic dynamics. I even got to the point where I put it into, I got it copyrighted. And then I resisted. I had an experience where I did some coaching, and I was pretty inexperienced. And so I felt like I made a mistake, or I didn't know enough. And so I said, that's it, I'm not doing it. I've got to be a regular person. And I went and I got a degree in nursing, and I worked as a nurse. I got married. I had 4 children. I went and I got an MBA. All of this was actually to resist my gift. But the cool thing is that I was enriching my gift in every activity I did. So everything you're doing, every way that you're resisting, that's really your gift is being enriched at all the time. So one of the things that I've done more recently is I've said, okay, I'll take a look at this gift again. And I've taken the time to imagine and intend goals. That's the third step. Imagine and intend goals. Your mind is like a magnet, and if you just relax it, just expand, not trying to control what the end goal is, but just to imagine and intend where you want to be. The universe, your unconscious, the unconscious of everyone else will bring to you the opportunities to help you enrich and live out your gift. It's an amazing process. Just try it. So the next one is you want to consistently create and intend. Once you've gone through this imagination, the next step is, what is your next step? What is it? And it's an asking more to the universe. This is the part about the spirit. It's just letting go and saying, okay, what's my next step? And when you get the next step, you do it, and you iterate, and you create. And then the last one is enjoy this process. You know, there's studies that show that the happiness effect has an incredibly powerful effect on your ability to learn, your creativity, and your openness to new opportunities. So I want to talk about one more resistance, which is a killer. It was a killer for me, and it's a killer for so many of us, and that's self-doubt. You know, we go along and we think we're going okay, and then we do something dumb and we say, oh, I really am not cut out for this. Or we try something new and we feel like an imposter. Well, whenever you move out of what you've been comfortable with, your normal, you're going to feel self-doubt. You're going to feel like you're an imposter. You're going to feel like you can't do it. The response to those isn't to believe them. No, it's to say, aha, I'm moving out of my comfort zone. That's great. So let me just go back and tell you a little bit more about my journey of accepting my gift or living in my gift. After about 40 years of dabbling in it and then pulling back and then dabbling in it, I heard a voice say, either you have a gift, either use it now or I'm going to take it away. So that scare tactic of that inner voice led me to make the commitment at whatever cost to live my gift. And here we are. I'm doing it right now. So one of the things that I did is I started with a website and some of the things that I needed to do, and I went into a deep depression. And my thought was not to say, now normally what I had done when I would go into a depression was to say, I just can't do this. And then, be sad and go on to do something else. But this time I said, aha, that's one of the things that I was afraid of with doing my calling. And so I said, I'm continuing on. And there have been so many roadblocks, so many personal challenges for me in developing my gift. And that's one of the things that you can expect, is that you will be transformed by your journey of living your gift. It is hard and it's emotional, but through it you will find so much joy and peace. And so really, when you're doing this, it is an act of faith. You have to walk into what you imagine, the gift that you see, not knowing what steps you're going to be taking, what opportunities are going to be coming to you, and what stuff in your past that might be coming up. And remember, when it comes up, you're not going to go and delve into it and have therapy and all that kind of stuff. You're going to say, aha, I'm being transformed, and that's a wonderful time. So remember, listen to your calling and make a commitment to do it. Relax and trust that it will come to pass. Imagine and intend your goals, then create pragmatic, practical stuff. Create, iterate, look for people that can help you with that. And finally, enjoy the process. It is enlivening. You feel growth. You feel alive. It's an amazing process. This is Marcy Venezia, GleeWorks Holistic Coaching, and I'm looking forward to see you express your gifts and calling.